cold one, and it's nice to be able to have a little warm, and we've always got a few noggins spare when we're constructing something. So let's see what we're building today. Well, the plot's getting no drier, and this really thick cardboard is helping me out a little bit. You can see down there in the middle of the screen, it's like a quad mile. So I've started building these. I've done it so that I can show you what I'm doing. I've probably spent 6 hours on this up to yet, with splitting the pallets to get these. Now, this is more of a hardwood. It's like a red wood, a lot better than what I may think is pine. And I've been sorting it out into different sizes and quality, so that I can use the wood accordingly. That wide piece is off those extra large pallets that I managed to get home on the wheelbarrow. I managed to use, and I will have enough of that harder wood to make the fronts. I'm taking this off in a minute, but this piece of wood here, actually I can actually move these across so it's the right width, so that these slide out a lot easier. Now, these pallets have got one lat missing, top and bottom, so the pallets that are split, I've found a couple of bits that aren't really aren't good quality. I'm reusing the nails, and this is how I straighten the bent ones. These are all the nails I've collected. They'll either get used or go for scrap, but some of them are bent. Hands are getting cold now, but just give them a little tap with a hammer. At least if I hit my fingers, it ain't going to hurt. But that's what I've used on those pallets there. Just reuse those, and when you break pallets off, the nails don't normally end up straight. So when you're knocking the nails in, it's so much easier. I'll finish the rest of that. So the reason I've actually done that is because when I put the plastic on, the plastic will go in, and any material that's in the bin will push through and maybe break it. So there's one job I've got to do at home, get the jigsaw on that. So then I'll put these 2 bars on so they're easy to lift out, and I'll show you how, because it's always awkward when you're putting a screw through to that, getting it all lined up. So I'll set myself up a little jig. So just using a spare pallet, we run it straight there-ish. The piece of wood that we put on, we line it up with a designated lath, and we just spin it round and then put the other one on. Now, the screws that I'm using are some of them just a little bit too long, so we angle the screw. So if your screws are too long, just angle them in, and that will help you. Now, all these screws are the recycled ones from the netting off the carrot box, the old compost bin, and because they're decking screws and they're reasonably rust resistant, you can reuse them. But I'm hoping that this bin will last me a lifetime now. Now, when I did my no dig bed update, and loads of you gave suggestions of how to protect the wood. Well, somebody mentioned about galvanised screws. I've got galvanised nails, but because I've recycled them, I don't mind. So basically, the screws are sticking out like that. I use the template, so I put the 4 screws in so they sit on there, then I'll spin it over. So that's done, and basically all I can do then is just turn it over. So I set everything out, got all the levels, sort of. And if you remember a couple of years ago I tried blanching my celery with these. Well, I've managed to reuse those. So now yeah, we can just see there, look, the wood is drawing the moisture from the bricks. So to stop that, I put that membrane down that builders use to stop the damp rising up through into your house. And then because we've got the screws on the bottom, we sit that there, and then the pallets go on top, and then we just secure it down. I've put some box section of timber there, and here we've got some of those pallet laths, two of them just worked out right, because now it gives us a nice channel to slip the fronts in. Now I was thinking I normally do singles and I just slide each one out at a time, but they do tend to twist and turn in the gap, so I've put a few together. So at this height I could quite easily climb in there and load the barrow. So just by taking that top one off, but I have got the option of taking that one out as well. So I'll just show you what I've done with the plastic now. So this is the plastic that would be used at the bottom of a concrete pour. It's a so many gauge, but it's that little bit thicker. You can use your compost bags, but because I don't buy much compost, I don't have many compost bags spare, and ones I do are full of holes anyway. So this is the roll that I got from out of a skip, a part roll. They've done the job and chucked it away. I couldn't believe it. I've had this fair while now, and I've lined most of my bins with it. So basically this is wrapped up in different, it's folded in other words. So basically what you need to do is unroll it to the bottom and then cut it off, and then that one strip actually goes all the way around and back, and the spare bit fitted nicely on the front of the front bit, and I've left enough to overlap. The top bit just wrapped over the lip, and the bottom again is just overlapped. So I'll show that within the bin. As you can see, I've just flapped that to there, so those flaps should go around here, and when we fill in the bin we've just got to make sure that the flaps are set right. That's the first one in, so there's another one going to sit on top of that one, and now we can flap that back and put our material in, and it should stop any moisture touching the wood. And at the bottom there, exactly the same, and we put a bit into the bottom there to protect those runners. You watch that drop down and make a hell of a racket. But that's as simple as that, just to make the wood last a lot longer. As I've said many times before, even if water does get inside and down into the wood, the wood can breathe and it'll dry out naturally. I probably won't be treating these, I won't be treating the edges, but we've got the plastic you can see in there, and it's all good circulation, and it should dry out nicely. So that we don't get soil touching the wood, etc., I've left that at a level that I think the wood chips are going to be at. But even if this piece of wood gets damaged, rotted, it's very easy to to replace. Didn't put that down properly, did I? I say, it's just, you shouldn't really be working on allotments at the minute, but have to get something done. So I'm just going to press on now until it gets dark. Well, I'm losing the light now, so I'm giving it neck now, and I will be putting some sort of sloping roof on it so we can collect the water at one end, possibly this end, so that we haven't got so far to take the water. But it's worked out really well, and it should last a very long time with all the wood being kept off the ground and the contents not touching the wood on the inside. So I'm pleased how it looks. So much better when you've got all the slats there. I know some people use these to store things in, but I'd rather keep the water out. A quick mail call. Tony, Guru Mafinda, the Little Farmer's Farm, has sent me some seeds. I will show them in a future video, so why not pop across to his channel. And Steve also sent me some potatoes and some chili seeds. And a thank you to Phil for sending me some more of his giant onions. Tony's and Steve's channels will be down in the description. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.